Okay, guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about copying what's working. This is the basic principle for new entrepreneurs. If you are new to business, you do not know all of the crazy lessons that everybody's been through in order to make what looks like a very simple business. When you see bakers or you see some sort of a manufacturer, any of these companies that have been through all the hoops that the government has, that the customer has, that everybody has on their best and their bad days, you don't know all of the things that they had to go through to get a business going, to have regular customers, to have enough revenue that despite all of their costs, where they're paying for their location, they're paying for their product, for all of their ingredients or whatever materials they have, and then paying Uncle Sam and employees and everybody else, then actually having something left over for them. We're going to try and simplify it today so that none of us run into all of the, you know, really hard to work through business scenarios that exist in real business. So if you've been through if you've been through business, you've already had times when you've gone through this stuff and you're going, how does anybody make a profitable business? We're going to try and lean into this principle today of copying what's working so that you guys can try and simplify your lives and actually get to winning quicker. So at the beginning, when you don't know everything about business, or you're not 10 years deep, this is the best spot to start. Once you know what you want to do and what you're meant to do, the best thing that you can do is find someone who is absolutely winning at that. Find two or three if you want, but find a couple that are really working well. And if you can, go and work for them for a little bit so that you can actually get the inside scoop and understand how a real business in that industry, in your market, works and how to operate it best, what kind of challenges they run into. And if you're working for them, technically you get to learn on their dime, which is great. If you feel like you already have enough experience, maybe you've already kind of worked in the industry and you want to now build your own thing, the best thing that I can recommend to you is to go and copy what's working. Meaning, if you see that most of their revenue is coming from their social media, go and post very similar things. They don't own the trend. You can go in and actually create your own version of whatever they're doing. And if you feel bad about this for any reason, please understand abundance. I've had real estate mentors, I've had business mentors that were totally, totally, totally happy to share any and all information that they had with me, knowing that there's so much opportunity out there that they could never even use it all. And that's not even their purpose. Our purpose is to accomplish our destiny, to feel good, and to help other people. So, with copying what's working, what areas do you need to look at? First off is their business plan. If you find somebody that has a very successful business, it probably means that they're executing on a well-established business plan. Something where they're able to take somebody who has a pain, give them the value that they need, and then send them on their way, having received some sort of compensation for it. So, their business plan. Next thing to look for is their website. And I'm going to throw in here their social media. Their team structure. This is a big one because the thing is, you may not realize this, but as you're starting your business, you wear every hat. You do the marketing, you do the product, you do the sales, you do everything. And so as you see other successful teams, you may want to actually replicate, or at least try replicating their team, and recognizing where is the most strategic place to put someone. You may actually, decide that it's not the structure that you think is best, and you may shape it and shift it. And that's called capitalism. We go in and we compete in the market and we do what we think is best to try and get the best result for what we're aiming for. So start with their business plan. Go, hey, how do they actually make money? How do they find customers? How do they bring those customers in? How do they convince them to actually buy their product? And then once they do buy their product, how do they follow up with them or make sure that they have a great, customer experience, or leave a review or tell their friends? How do you follow up with them? How do you get them to purchase again, depending on your business? Things to look for. And again, this is just because when you're copying what works, it depends. A lot of people will actually jump in on a franchise because they know that most of the problems have already been figured out. And it's worth it to them to pay that percentage of their earnings back to the franchise because it's a more for sure model and it takes more risk out of it. So recognize what kind of costs are associated with starting a company. If there's less overhead, and if you guys haven't actually gotten all of the terminology down, go and check out our video that goes over all of the business terms. But overhead is money that you need to put into the company before the company is even ready to make you any money. So if I need to build a building and I need to hire employees and I need to buy all this food, that's my overhead cost that I need to actually put in before I can ever make a dollar. So with some businesses, you have no overhead costs. And those are the ones that I usually suggest that you guys start with. And again, if you're listening to all of my other trainings, you're going to stay at your current job and create some sort of perpetual reoccurring income that you can count on so that you don't have to worry about that while you're getting this going. Because if you need costs, you may just want to go find an investor. And if you need an investor, you're probably going to find one in our group. If you need somebody who has money, one is, and I love doing this, you go and find an experienced investor because they are going to ask you all the sorts of questions that they've learned to ask as an experienced entrepreneur and an experienced investor, because they know all the things that can go wrong. And there are probably a lot of things that you didn't even think of that they know to ask that you are going to want to go now and investigate, because you may find out that whatever business you were about to start is actually not what you thought it was, because now you actually know the questions to ask and you're getting different information or more information that's helping you to see a fuller picture. So look for the costs, look for, I think what I'm going to say is trends, and also the economy. If we're headed into a bad economy and you want to start a product that is very much a mosquito bite pain, it's something like if you want to make really nice donuts or cronuts, you want to make a bakery, and we're going into a time where people are going to have a hard time paying for their rent, I think the donut is going to come secondary. And so look for companies, that actually weather very well in a down economy. Beauty is one of these particular industries that actually amazes me. But people still go and get their hair done, their nails done. They'll still go and get a wax when the economy is down. Theaters, they do really well because people want to check out for a minute from all their stress. And so different subscriptions and different models can be very effective in a down economy depending on what it is. So do your research, make sure you look at the costs and also the trends. But more than that, just check out what is their team doing, how do they make money, and what does their public facing image look like. If you can start there, you're going to have a great first few steps to getting you to your first dollar.